Happy Bum Slide Thursday. Bum sliding right into Friday. That's why we call it that.
It's just that far away. You can almost touch it. You can almost taste it. You can almost feel it. It's almost Friday.
But you know what? What's really fun about Thursdays is the ride.
The ride to Friday.
The bum slide down to Friday is
awesome. It's all downhill. It's easy peasy.
We just keep saying it so that we convince ourselves of that.
And what a beautiful day!
Isn't it? It's a bit chilly though.
It'll get nice. I don't mind a cool, you know what, a cool morning to sit in the sunshine with a little sweater and a cup of coffee. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh.
And then it warms up later.
Let's go do that.
Okay.
We should do the show outside.
Well, okay, did you hear the laughter from the booth? I would love to.
Wouldn't that be fun?
We're talking about maybe doing something live from our parking lot. Does that count?
Yes.
No, because you know all the 5-car draw for Rotary Fest?
Yes.
I bought my ticket. I always buy a ticket for that. Because you know what? It's a great cause.
It is.
And if you win a car,
and it's fantastic. $20, isn't it?
25, that's all.
Like, seriously.
For one of 5 cars. Anyway, I want to have them on the show, and we're talking about maybe bringing all the cars to the parking lot and doing like an interview with the cars in the parking lot. I know, wouldn't that be fun?
If you need somebody to do like the modeling part.
You want to be the Vanna White?
Like, yeah, I could open the door.
Luann Black.
You know, zoom in on the consoles and stuff like that. I could drive one away.
I don't want you to drive.
I'll be sober by then. It'll be early enough in the day.
It'll be early enough in the day.
I think so, sure.
Oh, what's going on in the world? You got any fun
you know
stuff?
what? Marvel is
Comics?
Yes. You know how there's a bazillion movies out there, like a ton. Yeah. Apparently, they are desperate to have an actor play a role that hasn't been assigned yet, but they want him desperately. Any idea who that could be?
There's an actor, and they want him for an action Marvel picture.
They want him in one of their movies.
And is he a young, up and coming? He's an older actor.
He's mid. He's younger than us.
Younger than us. Is he like an A-lister?
Yes.
Okay, it's Brad Pitt.
No. Good though. Keanu Reeves.
I could see that.
Apparently, they've been after him for like 3 years. And he hasn't done it yet just because it hasn't worked out schedule-wise and stuff. So I wonder if we should stay tuned to see Keanu.
I would
marvel at Keanu anytime.
I don't go and see those movies. I'm not big on those kinds of movies.
I love those kinds of movies.
You would marvel at Keanu.
Oh, you know what? You finally got it. Jeez, it took a minute.
I don't listen.
You know what though? A nice glass of wine watching those movies makes you forget everything because it's just action and boom, boom, boom. I love those.
Here's my thing. I think they've gotten to the point now where these action movies and these Marvel things, it's just so much. What's the term that they use for, like, not CPG, but like it's all fake.
Digitally
enhanced. CGI. Thanks, Alex. CGI. So much of it is.
But you just said you didn't see any of them.
I see the clips. I see them bursting on the scene and the flashes of light.
So
the
you can tell? You find you can tell?
CGI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not like good old-fashioned movies where the special effect. Why is that picture up there? Is that who they want him to be, Michael?
That's what they want him to be.
Oh. Well, they want him to be a bad guy? I'm sorry to yell. I would rather have Keanu as he looks a little bit like a Neanderthal in that photo on the right.
He looks a bit like the
I thought he would be a good guy.
Me too. How can you make Keanu? I'd watch it.
Wait a minute though. How often has he been a bad guy in films? Maybe it's time.
Maybe it's time.
It's time for Keanu to be a villain.
Maybe it's time.
Hey, villains.
I'd watch it.
How about real life villains?
Oh gosh.
Okay, here's a headline that made Luann.
This is funny.
Okay, the headline was Cracker Barrel blocks a pastor. And Luann I said, how did Cracker Barrel block a pastor? And Luann thought
the pastor ate too much cheese and was blocked.
Constipated.
Couldn't poop.
She thought the pastor couldn't poop because he ate too much cheese.
My first thought when he said that to me.
How did Cracker Barrel block a pastor? I said, and she said,
It's not Cracker Barrel's fault. The pastor must have eaten too much of it.
And he got blocked.
It's on the pastor.
And then I had to explain to her, no, Mr. Grayson Fritz is his name. He lives in Tennessee. And he's a pastor and a police detective.
Of course he is.
Not too much influence in your community, do you?
And on the side, he taxidermies.
He belongs. He's the pastor at the All Scripture Baptist Church in Tennessee, and he believes that Leviticus should be the law and adopted by the law in the United States of America, and you should punish gays to death.
Oh my word.
And his little...
What year is this?
His little group from the All Scripture Baptist Church, there he is. Hello, Mr. Grayson Fritz. You wish I were dead, don't you? He had a little party booked, a little meeting booked on June the 29th at the Cracker Barrel in Tennessee. Not anymore, Mr. Fritz, because ever since your stuff went viral, Cracker Barrel says you're not even allowed on their property because you are so hateful and divisive.
Cracker Barrel. You know what, too? I have to say,
Happy Gay Pride Month.
Seeing his picture is interesting because I instinctively thought that he would have had to have been an older white man. And he's not.
No.
That's sort of discouraging. No? 2019.
Well, you know what's discouraging? Watch Donald. I couldn't watch much more than 2 minutes of Donald Trump's rally in Florida.
Oh, gosh.
He literally stood there and said that Democrats are hateful, treasonous, and they're trying to destroy the country.
Yep. And then he nailed the media.
20 minutes on Hillary Clinton.
For the first 2 minutes, he talked about the economy, which is kind of the only success that he might be enjoying
economy
now.
And they say that that's left over because of Barack Obama.
That's left over from Obama, some people would claim. But then he went to Clinton and for 20 minutes. But you know what he's doing? He is playing to his base voters because these are all the same issues that his base voters voted him in on as president. So he's thinking, wow, I got to go back and talk about that because I haven't done anything good since.
And I got to ramp it up, and he is ramping it up. The things he is saying now are terrifying.
It's going to get ugly.
Did you see the crowds?
Oh, I know.
His following is as strong.
Strong as.
They're in trouble.
And you know what? I have to say, I watched a news piece, and some of the people who were at the rally were interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say.
Say it.
A little uneducated as far as the issues of the presidential campaign, and a little ignorant of
the
some
world
of the
outside
things.
of where they live.
Yes, I honestly, there were a couple I thought, my goodness, there's a world beyond your town.
And they're just believing the lies that he feeds them. Now that's another thing that's trending on Twitter right now. You and I were having some laughs this morning. This is also, every once in a while it's like, what was yesterday? It was make up a horror story in 6 words.
Yes.
Today's Twitter trending thing is, what lies did your parents tell you as a child?
How much time do we have?
We started going through the list. Okay. Don't
sit too close to the TV, it'll ruin your eyes.
Don't cross your eyes and get hit in the head because your eyes will stick that way. Gum.
Don't swallow gum because it'll get stuck in your intestines and you won't ever poop again.
I heard it would clog your heart.
I heard it would
gum would clog your heart. Lights on in the car. How many of you thought that driving with lights on your car was illegal? I did.
I wasn't able to turn lights on in the car that my dad had.
You didn't have lights in your car?
Only when the door opened.
You couldn't?
No, there was no click on.
Even on the headlight thing, when you turned it all the way to the right, it would turn the interior lights on?
No.
I don't think, maybe you're, okay. Anyway, it's not illegal.
It's not illegal, so crank them on.
Driving barefoot.
I was told it's illegal because you affect the driver coming towards you on the highway.
Not illegal. Driving barefoot.
It's not illegal.
Not illegal. My mother told me, you can't drive barefoot. To go to the store at Point Louise, at Point-au-Park, if you want to drive, put on your sandals.
Really?
Driving in flip-flops is worse than driving barefoot.
Yeah, flip-flops are not good, apparently.
How about this one? Hemorrhoids. If you sit on a cold concrete, you'll get hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
It's not true. Unless
My goodness, I didn't sit down for...
Sand. Your mother told you sand.
Don't play in the sand for too long sitting in it because you'll get worms in your bum.
Don't make a face for too long because your face will stick that way.
Yeah.
But here's what I like this one. This guy wrote, when I was 6, my dad told me Bigfoot was spotted in the woods near our home. I didn't go outside for 2 days. We lived in suburban New Jersey.
The stuff, but as a parent, you do it, right? You
can't swim 2 hours after you eat. Not true.
And the thing is that the parents get desperate because the kids are always, Mom, Ma, Mommy, Mom, Ma, Mommy, why, Mom, why? So you lie, okay? You lie to your kid. The kid survives, he gets over it.
Oh my gosh, we have a great show.
Yes.
We have a really great show today. Today is World Refugee Day, so I have guests from Refugee 705, which is a local organization that helps integrate refugees into our city and welcome them and educate us about refugees in our community. And also, right now, there's a huge conference going on in Sault Ste. Marie of travel writers. 120 plus of them in Sault Ste. Marie right now for 8 days. And we have, I believe he's one of the chairs of the organization is here to talk about their experience in Sault Ste. Marie. Plus, Luann has the news. It's a busy day on TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5 and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
It's an exciting time for Sault Ste. Marie because Guy Theriault is here with a whole bunch of his friends. Hi, Guy.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
I'm well. Welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim and on TV. Guy is from TMAC. Tell me again, you've got a couple of titles.
Yeah, well, I'm a board director for TMAC, and
Which
TMAC
stands
is
for?
Travel Media Association of Canada.
Excellent.
And right now, this week, we are being hosted by the beautiful city of Sault Ste. Marie,
Yes.
where we have over 130 delegates, over 50 travel writers, and 65 tourism industry delegates.
Okay.
And we're here, so the main goal is it's our annual AGM and conference and marketplace. So this morning, we actually have meetings going on where every media member is meeting an industry member, and it's like speed dating.
Oh!
And we've got 2 days of speed dating, and the rest of the time we're all experiencing everything that Sault Ste.
Wait a second, does this count as a speed date?
This is a very good speed date, but this is an 8-minute speed date, not 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, I wasn't ready for the speed date. Darn it. So you're a committee chair for...
So I'm a board member for TMAC, which is a national association for travel media.
All across Canada.
All across Canada.
Yeah.
We've got media here that are going to be writing for all kinds of print publications, online publications. We have some authors who are writing books about fishing.
Oh.
So it's a great time to be here in Sault Ste. Marie.
So how did you choose us? Because you're a committee chair.
I'm the host committee chair.
Chair.
And the city of Sault Ste. Marie and the Economic Development Corporation,
Yes.
they did a bid, so we had a request for proposals. So it was about 2 years ago.
It took that long?
Well, it took that long, and it was a great bid, by the way. And last year, we were in Victoria, for last year's conference. And during the conference, the city of Sault Ste. Marie, which was of course the host destination for this year, put on a great luncheon, and they announced to all the TMAC members that we would be here in 2019, and here we are.
Yay! Speaking of luncheon, I know last night you were treated to some beaver tails.
Actually, beaver tails were excellent last night.
Beaver tails and beer.
And beaver tails, and I come from Ottawa, and the beaver tails come from Ottawa. It's the Grant Hooker, it's his family, who run the franchises.
Kidding.
Yeah, it's from
See,
Ottawa.
I learned something there just now.
Yes. I used to sell beaver tails along the Rideau Canal in Ottawa.
Did you?
Yes.
What do you think of our waterfront?
You have a beautiful waterfront. I was very impressed. We're at the Delta Sault Ste. Marie waterfront. I get a beautiful view of the Sault Ste. Marie Canal, which is a Parks Canada site. I get the beautiful waterfront. I keep watching the boats go up and down and the fishermen. And
you saw the canal up close. You were on Whitefish Island. Did you go fly fishing?
I went fly fishing for my very first time, and I loved it. I had a great guide, Johnny Giuliani, and I actually pulled out a very nice size fish. He caught one, according to him, which was the largest one he's caught in over 35 years.
You brought us good luck.
Well, brought us good luck.
It was catch and release you did too.
Catch and release, and we've got this afternoon. We've got a group of media that are going out to the same spot to do their fly fishing, and one of them, James Ross, who writes for many interesting publications, is going to be trying his fly fishing prowessness, if you will. To see if he can catch a big one. Yeah.
What other kind of? Okay, I know the lock cruise is something else you're doing over in Sault, Michigan, so that's great.
Well, Sault, Michigan, and we're coming through Canada also. So we're going to get a great view of your city, and we're going to visit both sides of the locks. We're going to go all the way up to the steel mill. It's going to be a great tour.
They do a great job. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot to tell you last night about how one of the things when we were little, one of the things we would do for fun was you would go and watch them dump the slag into the St. Mary's River and watch the sky turn red. It was like a fake sunset. It's all the funny little things in Sault Ste. Marie that we did for our own tourism. But the other thing is, it's really interesting to have people like you, yourself, and on these other 125 plus, 130 plus delegates and writers in town, because I think a lot of the times we lose sight of just what we have here in the city to offer people who come from the outside. So it makes us very proud when we hear things about you coming and having a positive experience. And I think it's important for locals to visit our city as though we were tourists. Do you agree? Is that something that you think is a good idea?
I completely agree. And this afternoon, all of the delegates are doing what we call half-day tours to experience this great city and the region. So we've got some food writers, culinary writers, who are going to be experiencing some of the best restaurants that you guys have to offer.
We have a lot.
We've got a lot that are doing cultural tours, walking tours, cycling, boating. So this afternoon, everybody's going to be out enjoying this beautiful region.
So if you're on the streets of Sault Ste. Marie, just walk around with a smile all day today.
All day.
All day.
But everybody's been smiling.
We're like that. Yeah. We used to be called the hub of hospitality of the Great Lakes.
I believe it.
Because it really is a pretty unique spot when you think about the historic the background of our city as a meeting place for not only all the way back to Aboriginals. Bawating was where this was all the chiefs would come and meet here. It was a major trading area. Then with the pioneers who came here, then with industry, and now with tourism. It really is on so many different levels a hub.
And throughout this entire conference, we've done a lot of Indigenous experiences that we have to offer around here. Actually, last night at the event, we had the Parks Canada crew from Fort St. Joseph that were offering period and historic chocolate, and they were talking about the voyageurs and the Indigenous cultures. So that was a great time last night.
So now, the idea here is for these writers and delegates to go back to their homes across the country. You're from Ottawa yourself, you said, right? And then write something about their experiences here. What kind of coverage is this going to get us on a global scale?
Well, on a global scale, so we have a lot of freelance travel writers who are here with us. So a freelance travel writer writes for many different outlets.
Right.
So the more they write, the more they get paid. So one story might be reproduced and going to many different outlets. So the travel writers that we have here today, they write for all the largest print publications in Canada. So the daily newspapers, the magazines, the Can Geos, the Explore magazines, food magazines, a lot of in-flight magazines, so like En Route, WestJet, Porter.
I always read those.
We all read them, and all of the writers who are with us actually write for all of those in-flight magazines.
Wow! So, you're here for 8 days?
So a lot of the media arrived last Friday, and everybody leaves on Sunday.
All right. And are you all staying at the Delta?
Most, I'd say about 95% of the people are staying at the Delta, yet.
Okay. Now, so when it comes to tourism and dollars and cents, do you have an idea in Canada of the kind of money that tourism brings into our country? I mean, do you have any estimates on the the residual amount of money that are spent in tourism?
It's huge. I don't have the exact numbers, but with regards to the gross domestic product responsible with tourism dollars, it's up there.
It is.
I know that there's a federal strategy on tourism that's been updated right now, and here with Northern Ontario and Sault and your Economic Development Corporation, everybody's working to bring in even more tourism people and tourism dollars into your region. It's huge.
Now, we have a new initiative too. I don't know if you had a chance to go in the big canoe, the Canoes for Conservation.
I saw it, but I haven't had a chance. You know what? It's been trending on Twitter and on social media. We have a hashtag TMAC SSM. So
that's right.
Yeah. So follow hashtag TMAC SSM
so
for
glad you got
TMAC
that
Sault Ste. Marie. You'll see what everybody's writing about on
They're blogging.
Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you'll see some real smiles.
I did that canoe thing. Ecotourism, it's a huge thing right now,
Absolutely.
right? So you want to see the environment and you want to and leave it as you, what did they say? We want to leave it as we found it?
That's right. And tomorrow in the afternoon, we've got what's called professional development sessions.
Okay.
And we actually are going to have a session on environmental sustainable tourism.
See that? We're also doing, we have a lot of festivals here. I don't know if you know this. Last year, for instance, the WTF Festival won the Best New Festival in Ontario.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But we also have what's called Rotary Fest coming up.
Okay.
This has been Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie for like 90 years. We have parades and parties, and it's a huge street party, goes on for a whole weekend. This year, there's an initiative called Garbage Free. So there's a group in Sault Ste. Marie, Clean North. They are dedicating themselves and their volunteers to making the entire event garbage free. Everything will come in. It's all recyclable, compostable stuff. Anything that doesn't have to go to a landfill won't go to a landfill. So I love the fact that Sault Ste. Marie is really moving forward and being green as well.
And so is our conference. We have green initiatives at our conference, and we are a green conference.
Well, I really hope you enjoy the rest of your stay in Sault Ste. Marie.
I'm loving it. I'm here till Sunday, and I'm enjoying every single moment.
If you see Guy out and about, make sure you stop him and say welcome to Sault Ste. Marie. Check out the blog again. It is where?
Hashtag TMAC SSM, and we're at Travel Media CA.
All right. So, thank you so much again for stopping by. I will see you guys again on my travels. I'm going to go on the boat cruise today, and
I'll
then
be with you.
Will you? Okay, fun. We're going on a boat cruise, and we'll be back with Luann right after this on Mornings, Luann and Tim.
I'm doing whatever it takes, stopping and nothing, I'm up in your face, shaking it off, no matter the cost, I'm feeling the wind, I'm taking it all, I'm paving the way with the sweat and the blood, I'm at the top, I'm rising above, I want the gold, give me the rush, Queen Midas, I got the touch. I'm pushing, 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 I'm pushing.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
Mios is Canadian through and through. And to celebrate Canada's birthday, Mios is offering 20 to 50% off all Canadian-made furniture. Mios knows supporting Canadian jobs, Canadian ideals, and Canadian designers is the right thing to do. And saving you 20 to 50% is a great way to celebrate Canada Day. Now, more than ever, is the time to buy Canadian and to support your local stores. Mios Furniture Fashions. Service before and after the sale. 261 Trunk Road. Where else, eh?
With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
So you and I have been talking about. We're talking about slavery this week,
right? Yes.
Because there was the Emancipation Proclamation, and the last free was finally slaved in the U.S. Whatever 18, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then we were talking a little bit about, from our perspective in Canada, Aboriginal history.
Same thing.
And tomorrow is actually, I believe it's International Aboriginal Day or World Aboriginal Day. Anyway, I found something again on history today in history in Canada, 1687. Very disturbing. New France intendant Jean de Champagny, that's how you say that, right? Champagny. Mm-hmm. He invited Iroquois from in and around the Fort Frontenac area, which is now Kingston. He invited them to feast. And then he imprisoned 30 men and 90 women and children. And he shipped the men off to France, where they were sold off as galley slaves.
What?
1687, New France, Kingston area. One of the French settlers invited the Iroquois for dinner, and then when they showed up, he captured them.
Okay, so that's French as in from France.
From France.
Not French Canadians.
Right. It was called, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
So anyway...
We did that.
There's a historical issue between the Iroquois and the French. Now you know why.
Seriously.
Imagine that. We did that. Our ancestors.
There's such a... And I've said this before on the show, and it's still...
Never learned that.
That boggles my mind. How there is such an arrogance around that mindset. Like
you could sell
Hitler or Canadians who think that they have to take children away from their family to make them more like the white person or assimilate them or whatever they wanted to call it at the time. Where is that arrogance from?
And that,
like, where on earth does that person think, or those people think, I am so awesome, I think everybody around me should be just like me? There's some ego there, man.
See that? Luann has spoken.
Like, seriously, I don't get it.
No.
Like, the slaves in the States, the indigenous here, the Jews in World War II era, I don't understand why somebody isn't going beside this pompous, arrogant, old white man and saying, you know what, you're not that hot. You're not so good looking, for one thing. You're not that great. We don't need more like you. We need some diversity.
And then you spend an afternoon in a canoe with Shirley Horn, or you go to elders in the classroom and you hear about they want to just thank the Creator and the universe for all the gifts. They're just such a peace-loving, incredibly grateful
who honor their
elders and appreciate the land and the air and all of the things that nature has provided us on this planet. And you want to tell these people they're savages and that you gotta beat the Indian out of the child.
And you know what? There's some people who say, "Oh yeah, I wasn't even around. I wasn't even born." No, you're right. Absolutely. This is our history, though. It's old history, but it's still our history.
Yeah.
So if we ignore it, does that make it okay? Are we saying to the indigenous people, if we ignore them or what they went through or their ancestors went through, if we ignore that, are we saying, yeah, get over it? That was a long time ago.
That's not how history works. That's not how history works.
But again, who are we to say that? Get over it.
No.
You know, I'm exhausted.
I'm so
tired.
On the bright side, things are changing.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
And even in Sault Ste. Marie, particularly in Sault Ste. Marie. And we have World Refugee Day coming up. And we have visitors. So good. We have guests from Refugee 705 coming in to talk about how our community is supportive and welcoming of people whose lives are in turmoil.
And that's all coming up right after the news, right after this.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride. Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
City police have arrested 32-year-old Thomas Martinen of Cathcart Street for manslaughter. Police say early Monday morning the accused deliberately set a fire inside a residence on Cathcart Street. One resident, 65-year-old Bernard Agawa, died as a result of injuries sustained in that fire. Martinen is charged with 1 count of manslaughter and 1 count of arson endangering life. He was held for bail court. Darren Eamon is an artist from Wawa who is the third of 6 to display their talent as part of the Downtown Association and Future SSM's Downtown Mural Project. Yesterday, members of the community were welcomed to Outspoken Brewery to see part of the creative process as Eamon put the final touches on his monstrous dragon mural per the request of Outspoken. ONNtv's Alex Parr was there.
So today, Darren and Ricky are not quite done, but we wanted to show these ones in progress. So we invited people down a few days early. They still have time to work on these, but we wanted to show people how it's done. And so we had 2 completely different walls with kind of different situations here. So there was different challenges for each. So it was great that people could come down and check these out and kind of see what's involved in this, and the amount of work. A lot of the feedback, I have never heard a negative comment the whole time in the alley, and people, even when they whisper down here, you can hear it. And so no, great feedback from everyone, and we're really happy with that the community is engaging and they see the value in this, and that they're appreciative of the efforts of the artists to do this and what it's bringing to the downtown and the community in general.
The Downtown Association and Future Sault Ste. Marie got together and decided that they wanted to paint some murals. And Outspoken was one of the people that was really down for it. And the owner, Graham, which is really cool, whom I've gotten to know and gotten to become friends with, he had mentioned that he always wanted like a really gnarly 80s metal band cover of a dragon burning a city down on his wall, but he never had the means. And I guess Todd was familiar with my work, and I do like a lot of that genre. So he showed samples of my work to Graham, and Graham said, "Yeah, that looks cool." And so I got a call, and I went in, and I went back to the studio, did a quick watercolor sketch of what I thought it would look like. I came in, I showed it to Graham, he loved it, and here we are.
What would you say is the benefit to having more art to those people that are opposed to it? What would you say to them to say, hey, you know what, this is important?
Well, I would quote Winston Churchill. When Winston Churchill was heavily involved in the war, some of his advisors told him that if he cut the arts and culture funding, that they would have more money for the war effort, and his response was, well, then what are we fighting for?
Ontario Premier Doug Ford is set to shuffle his cabinet today. The reset comes just after Ford and his Progressive Conservatives marked 1 year since they won a majority government. When asked recently about the possibility of a shuffle, Ford said he has the best cabinet this province has ever seen, though he noted that each of his ministers could hop into any portfolio. The shuffle also comes as Ford is falling in the polls, with some suggesting his unpopularity could actually hurt federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer's chances in the province ahead of the federal election in October. Ontario's elected representatives are on an extra long summer break, which gives the reassigned cabinet ministers a chance to acquaint themselves with their new portfolios before returning to the legislature after the federal vote. Ford's last shuffle was in November, when about half a dozen ministers were reassigned following the resignation of Jim Wilson to seek treatment for addiction issues.
Better way. Why is the Prime Minister refusing to protect coastal communities, Indigenous communities, and our environment?
We put a price on pollution. We're safeguarding our oceans. We're investing in public transit.
One day after the Liberals gave a green light to the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion, the partisan rhetoric in the House of Commons got ratcheted up over Canada's energy sector and the environment.
10 years, Mr. Harper and his Conservatives failed to get one pipeline built to new markets. The Conservatives talk about the Kinder Morgan anchor loop, but that pipeline goes nowhere near a port. The reality is the Conservatives didn't understand, and still don't understand, that the only way to build energy projects today and into the future is to protect the environment at the same time and work in partnership with Indigenous peoples.
It is a terrible indictment on his record that in Canada, under his prime ministerialship, that the government must nationalize a project in order to get it built. Under Conservatives, the private sector did that. But we shouldn't be surprised. After all, this is the Prime Minister that wants to phase out the energy sector.
We now know why Andrew Scheer waited until the dying hours of this Parliament to shovel out his ideas to tackle climate change.
Environment Minister Catherine McKenna calls Conservative leader Andrew Scheer's plan to tackle climate change a fake plan. The Liberal minister says it would do nothing to help Canada meet the carbon emission reduction targets in the Paris Accord.
No numbers, no serious measures, and no commitment to move the needle on climate action. That he says we can save the planet, but we don't have to make any changes. Pollution can be free. We can burn coal, develop oil forever, build as many pipelines as oil lobbyists want. Just invent some technologies and sell them to other countries. That'll do it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. That the Paris Agreement requires every country to do their part. Every country needs to take serious action at home. You can't export your way out of this problem. You can't invent your way out of this. You need to commit to serious action.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today to help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument. Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the mornings with Luann and Tim this month. We certainly appreciate it. Carrie Underwood is in trouble.
Why?
Well, apparently she's being sued for allegedly ripping off Sunday Night Football. So there's a group of writers and an artist named Heidi Merrill, and they're suing her, saying that she plagiarized their version of the song.
What song? They have a song that they play for Sunday Night Football?
Yes.
The theme song?
Yes.
Carrie Underwood plagiarized it and wrote words to it?
No, the words are the same, I believe. The song is called Monday Night Football, or Sunday Night Football.
Oh, it's a song? I completely misunderstood. I thought that somebody wrote a theme song for Sunday Night Football and Carrie Underwood stole the music and then wrote words to it.
No.
I love my football. I love it great. Oh, that's Hawaii 5-0.
So apparently she plagiarized and is being sued. Like, people are not happy. So we'll have to wait and see.
Have you heard? I'd like to hear their version of the song.
I'd like to hear both the versions.
Like My Sweet Lord and what was the other one? Remember that one?
My Comment Ça Va?
No, there was My Sweet Lord. They got sued. The Beatles got sued.
Yes.
By that girl, or anyway, I don't know what I'm talking.
Don't recall.
But there was a lawsuit about a.
Yes.
Yeah.
There have been several, right?
Well, you know what? When you think about it, there's only 8 notes in an octave. Well, there's, I guess, with the black, there's 12, I think. Wait, 8. Whatever there are, 13 notes. And there's only 13 notes. You can only arrange them so many different ways to create so many different chords. I mean, once in a while, something's going to sound like something else.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because I asked my husband, Jim, that because Jim writes lyrics and music. And I said to him, I said, how is it that you are 100% sure that you're not tapping into something that you might have heard someone else do?
Right.
Because you're so limited. And he said, I don't know, it's just like, that's so complicated to me.
And in court cases, I think what they do is there's some sort of, it's like an algorithm thing that they do when they are looking for.
They break it right down.
They break it right down. They say the repeating of this song in this chord and this structure is so similar that yes, it can't be. But if you think Andrew Lloyd Webber, for heaven's sakes, I mean, you listen to some of his stuff, and it's taken from classical music. I mean, there's some actual riffs that come from classical music songs that are in his stuff, and then also, I mean, he plagiarizes himself. He'll take the same song and recycle it over and over and rework it. So that's how you end up with songs sounding the same. Things like Joseph and Cats, and there's some similar themes throughout. So it's
again, the theme is constricting for one thing, and then you've got the constriction of the just so many notes, and you can't play with other stuff
unless you're someone like Katy Perry, who can then put all the accents on the wrong syllables. And make anything fit.
And make anything fit, except for Tim's love. Tim's love for Katy Perry is non-existent, as you might have realized
over the last year. Hey, okay, listen, what's coming up next? Oh, Refugee 705. Very, very cool. We've got lots to learn as a community. There's lots going on.
So much good work being done. I love it.
Great work being done, and there are things going on in the world. We'll never experience the kind of trauma that some of these people are living, and we're going to hear a couple of stories, and also about the celebration.
Yes.
And it's all about that. It's all about celebrating diversity and welcoming people into our community and giving people a chance to thrive and survive in Canada. That's coming up next on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Melly, did you know that the Bush Plain Heritage Center is celebrating 30 years this year?
Wow, great for them. Did you know that if you're at the Bush Plain Museum, that you're only 12 minutes and 7 seconds away from Maitland Ford Lincoln?
Really? Maitland Ford? It's closer than you think.
I love women. I love older women, professional women, stay-at-home moms. I love how women put the family first. I love how you're so concerned that I'll get to your husband. You have no idea that I'm coming after you.
Make death wait. Please donate to fund life-giving research, because heart disease and stroke is the #1 killer of women.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
Happy World Refugee Day. I guess, can we say Happy World Refugee Day? Is it something you celebrate?
It's a celebration of unity and solidarity.
That's Megan saying that right there. And this is Danya. Welcome back to the show, Danya.
Thank you for inviting us again,
It's been
Tim.
about a year, I think, since you were on
Exactly
last.
1 year.
Okay, well, so World Refugee Day is back around again.
Yes.
This year the theme is Take a Step. On World Refugee Day. It's a step towards solidarity. It's about learning who refugees are and what made them become, why they became refugees, what the conditions in their homeland were that were so horrible that they had to flee. And we know that for the most part, it's oftentimes war, persecution, sometimes natural disaster. There are many reasons why people have to leave their homes, but imagine having to pack up everything you own, leave it all behind, including other family members, and moving to a completely foreign land, all just to stay alive and to have your freedom. So, Danya, how did you come to Canada?
Well, I came to Canada 10 years ago as a student.
Yes, from where?
From Lebanon.
Okay, great. Now, how did you getting involved working with refugees?
So when the program started in 2016, I got a job at the Sault Community Care Center.
Yes.
Because for the resettlement assistance program.
Resettlement assistance, okay.
Yes, at the Sault Community Care Center. And in 2016, we were starting to receive refugees from Syria.
Yes.
As it was the biggest crisis that was going on. And Canada received so far about 60,000 Syrian refugees.
60.
60 as from 2016 to 2019.
All right.
And currently we have 277 refugees in Sault Ste. Marie.
In Sault Ste. Marie alone, 277.
Yes, from 2016 to 2019. And we have them coming from Syria, from Eritrea, from Sudan, from Nigeria and Niger, Mali, Yemen.
So
Myanmar,
the five,
Ethiopia.
I guess the five, you mentioned some of the countries, the five countries that have the most refugees that are fleeing: Syria, Afghanistan, South Sudan, Myanmar, and Somalia.
That's correct.
And we do have refugees from some of those places here in the Sault, but as you mentioned, many other places as well. You talk a little bit about when they first arrive, the hallelujah moment where it's like, yay, you know, what a great country, we're free. But then reality sets in.
Yes, it's kind of a mixed feeling.
Like, what do you call it, the honeymoon period?
The honeymoon phase. So it's kind of a mixed feeling. They first arrive not knowing what to expect and who to expect, because they don't know who will be waiting for them at the airport.
I mean, imagine if we all picked up and moved tomorrow to Myanmar. I would not know what to expect.
Not knowing the language and the mentality and the culture and pretty much nothing.
Nothing. Okay, yes. So they arrive here and they're
they arrive and
shock.
Yeah, there is a whole team at the Sault Community Care Center that helps from the moment they arrive to Canada to pretty much everyday life.
Right.
Yes, for like to find housing, doctors, schools, jobs, everything. Yeah.
And some of these people are arriving with a garbage bag.
Oh yeah, some have absolutely nothing, and they have like 6 children. Some of them have big families.
Widows? That's becoming a little bit more common. You said that's happening more and more, that there are women and children arriving with no husband because he's either been
killed or jailed or victims of violence. Yeah. So this year there's been a lot of focus on vulnerable women with children.
Okay. How is the community, tell me a little bit, Megan, about Refugee 705 or the history of the organization and the work that you do in the community. Sure. Is it all volunteer-based?
It is. So Refugee 705 is a grassroots community-based group which was started in late 2015.
You're a co-founder.
That's right, I'm a co-founder. And so Jairus Patterson and myself, he's a good friend of mine, we wanted to help, and there was definitely a gap in services in the city. There wasn't a whole lot that was available to help direct people who wanted to help but weren't sure how. And so Refugee 705, which you can visit at refugee705.com, was really started to help direct people in how they could volunteer, donate, sponsor. And so we work a lot with partners in the community, such as Sault Community Career Center. And this year we're one of the partners of World Refugee Day celebrations, which is downtown today.
Today. It's happening today. So if you're watching this show this morning live, you can go downtown from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and Danya will tell you more about that.
Okay.
But yeah, we're completely volunteer run. And we put events on in the city that help to raise awareness, and yes, it's incredible.
I'm going to come back to you after we talk a little more with Danya to find out how we as citizens of Sault Ste. Marie can get involved and the kinds of volunteer work that you have where you would need some assistance.
Absolutely.
Okay. Danya, tell me a little bit about you're telling about we talked about the wives, the widowed wives with children, young teenagers. Mm-hmm. You mentioned there's a story you might want to share about a 17-year-old boy. Is that right?
Yes. So this very nice, sweet 17-year-old boy shared with me his incredible story. So he's from Sudan, and with his mom and sister, because his father died, so there was no future for them, no hope in Sudan. And so they walked all the way to Libya, and from Libya they tried to take an illegal boat to cross the Mediterranean Sea to go to Europe. And that's unfortunately something that's quite common. Lots of refugees who try to escape from where they come from for a better future, they end up dying in the sea.
In the sea.
In the sea. but they got caught. So he was that time 14 years old. They got caught by the Libyan police and they were sent to jail. And during the time he was in jail for a couple of months, that's where he learned English.
Whoa.
Yes, and then they were sent back to Egypt, and the UNHCR was helping them with their assistance. But he speaks Arabic, and I also speak Arabic. And he was telling me his story in English. And I said, wow, that's incredible. Why aren't you talking to me in Arabic? He said, because I want to learn English. I want to learn to settle and adapt in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, students, you mentioned we have a program that actually brings refugee students into our city, into our community. Tell me a little bit about that.
So WUSC, which is one of our partners, World University Service of Canada, and there's chapters at both Sault College and Algoma University. And so WUSC brings in university students who are refugees from around the world to study at universities in Canada. And some of these individuals are good friends of mine, and just incredible, inspiring people who make a new life in Canada.
And this is, I think, so important to remember that refugees are not coming looking for a handout.
No.
They're looking for a new life. They're looking for, they want to establish themselves, they want to work. Many of them have been taken from great jobs, and then they come here and they have to try to find work that is nowhere in their field, right?
It was not a choice.
Not a choice. We have a little bit of time left. Just quickly give me a rundown of what's going on downtown today.
Okay, so today Refugee 705 with the Downtown Association and the WUSC Sault College and the Sault Community Care Center and the Link School and also Northland School, so the Algoma District School Board, Global Friends, Local Immigration Partnership, and Algoma University. So all of us, we are organizing an event, which is World Refugee Day, today from 1 to 6 in March Street.
The March Street
courtyard.
stage, right down there. Yes, it's a beautiful area.
And there will be ton of activities. There will be quilt making, beading activity, puzzle making, face painting, henna tattoo. I said I already.
It's a family event.
Ice cream. There will be lots of games.
Frank Joya is playing the music. I love Frank.
Frank Joya will be the DJ and will play live music. There will be drummers.
Native drummers.
And it's open for the whole community. Please bring your kids because there will be games for kids and lots of fun stuff.
And it's free. And the idea is to just get out and meet somebody, have a conversation with somebody, find out about what's going on in our community, and find out how you can help.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can visit our website, refugee705.com, or visit us on Facebook. Send us a message. We post regular updates about what we're at, what we're doing in the community, and we love volunteers. So drop us a line, and we'd love to have you involved.
Well, enjoy your beautiful day in downtown Sault Ste. Marie with Refugee 705 and World Refugee Day. Thanks for joining us. All the best to you. Thanks for all you do in the community. We'll be back to say goodbye with Luann right after this.
I wanna let go. I wanna let go.
Turn your passion into a career with a university or college education. For information on financial aid, visit ontario.ca/myfuture.
This looks pretty stupid, huh? Thing is, during my lifetime, I've got a chance of like 1 in 36,000 of dying from something like making toast in the bath. But if I'm a smoker, my chances of dying are 1 in 2. So you tell me what's more stupid.
And they asked me to mention really quickly my last guest. It's Multiculturalism Day, June 27th at Sault College from 5 to 8 p.m. next week.
So be there or be square. Such good work being done in our community. It's so good to be from Sault Ste. Marie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for Friday's show tomorrow.